Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of the Bemidji Buzz podcast. I'm your host, Brady Loudon, and I started this podcast to shine a light on the voices, memories, and moments that make this place special. Each episode will bring you real stories from real people. This is the heart of Bemidji, one conversation at a time. Today, I'm thrilled to kick things off with someone who's made a big impact on Bemidji's food scene. He is the owner of the Blue Oyster and Tara Bemidji, and he was just named Entrepreneur of the Year by the Bemidji Area Chamber of Commerce. Keng, thank you so much for being here today and being for the first guest on the Bemidji Buzz podcast. Welcome.
Thank you for having me here. So it's my honor and I'm very excited. So I haven't done anything like this before, and bear with me with my broken English. I hope you understand most of the part that I'm saying. So
absolutely. No, this is so cool to have you here, Keng. And this is my first time ever doing a podcast for Visit Bemidji. And so this is a first of its kind, and I'm just really thankful to have you here today. So I guess where we should start is, how did you choose Bemidji to be able to open a restaurant? And I'd just love to hear kind of your background story of like how you've been able to come to Bemidji and start a restaurant here.
I started a restaurant business in Moorhead and Fargo area. More than, I think it's over 15, 20 years ago.
Wow.
And then one day, I didn't realize that, how beautiful Minnesota, different from North Dakota. It's just different scene. And, I stayed there, and mostly I work in the restaurant. Mm-hmm. And one day, Carl Johnson.
Yes, Carl Johnson.
Yeah.
The Security Bank.
Yep. He used to work in Fargo, and he said like, hey, Keng, you need to come here. And
very cool.
I'm thinking because Carl really liked Thai food, doesn't mean like other people would like it too.
Yeah.
So first, like, am I gonna make it for like, it's such a small town?
Yeah.
And then of course, I came here and take a look. It's beautiful, and it's really impact me like how community involved in this one. Mm-hmm. Because honestly, when I work in the restaurant, a lot of customers, we be talking and we seeing each other, and they always remember me in the restaurant. Okay. One day I went to a Sam's Club and saw the same people. They didn't recognize me at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but when I came to Bemidji, I start having friends, have more activities to do here. So
the personal connections of the community. That's awesome. And Keng, where are you originally from?
I was born and raised in Thailand.
Yeah.
So I graduated from military academy.
Yep.
And I got scholarship to come study my master degree in California.
Okay. And how old were you when you came to Minnesota?
I think I was like 25 years old.
25.
Yeah.
Okay.
I spent almost like 2 years there in California.
Wow.
And haven't got any plan to stay here any longer than that, because, I just do my job and go back and work for the government for, a couple of years.
Sure.
And then my wife wanted to continue her study, and then we went to NDSU together.
NDSU, the Bisons. Yep. Very cool.
She worked all the way and, complete her degree. I didn't.
Okay. What was your degree that you were going in?
Is an electrical engineer.
Electrical engineer.
Yeah.
So how do you go from electrical engineer to now owning restaurants? How did that whole process go down?
You see, I'm kind of surprised that I was picked to be either like the entrepreneur of the year. It's huge for me, because I think people who got this reward is going to be somebody that's doing a lot of great things or doing very successful, wealthy, but none of those, is under my vision. Like, I'm going to be entrepreneur of the year, but I like to do things. And I believe one thing, like, it doesn't matter how background you have, but if you do it enough and you put yourself into it, you're going to be successful in some, depends on people, goals, and
you were willing to put in the work, and you also had the passion to back it up.
Right.
And so, but yeah, I think that's awesome. And so you first started your restaurant in Fargo, right? And what was the name of that restaurant?
It's a Thai Orchid restaurant in Moorhead.
Okay.
And then we opened a Drunken Noodle. I partner with my father-in-law.
Okay.
And I think first time I heard about Bemidji, like when I opened the restaurant in East Grand Forks.
Yeah.
That I didn't know that it's in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I thought, it's the same, like Grand Forks would be in North Dakota.
Sure.
And a lot of things that I need to get done in Bemidji.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
That's surprised me. Like, what Bemidji? The city name sounds like interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's there, like why we need to go to Bemidji. But later I found out, a lots of authority here and government that we need to go through Bemidji.
Yeah. So the original name from Ojibwe means water with two crossings. And so with the Native American community, it's pretty cool that we live there's 400 lakes within 25 miles of Bemidji. And so just the resources that we have here is incredible. But then you talk about that personal connection with the community is really kind of something special here too. And so you get kind of treatment in a smaller town with large town amenities. So it's kind of that's something that we promote through Visit Bemidji is just that really small town feel with large town amenities. And I feel like your restaurant helped kind of build that because you're really bringing diversity in food to the Bemidji area that maybe we haven't had before. And so when did you start, Tara in Bemidji? What year was that?
I think it's back in 2016.
2016.
It's been a while. It's 9 years already, right?
Yeah, 9 years. Yeah. Wow. And have you saw the business grow tremendously, or I guess how have you saw the things evolve?
At beginning, the Tara, when we opened, we got a huge crowd, and the line is, on the street, and people like really. We have a very warm welcome to Tara, but the problem is it's kind of like overwhelming, staffing and how we train.
Yes.
And later, no matter what, I learned to open many restaurants, but still, I don't do like a franchise or anything like that. I still feel like we need to pass this time when you're gonna get high turnover rate for the employees.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
A lot of learning with customer and ourselves. So it takes a while until people get to know they don't need to come all at once, right? So it's spread out pretty good and
so it's sustainable.
Right.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So do you have a lot of impact on what the menu is at Tara, or did you have development of that, or how did you work that whole situation out?
Yeah, both the cuisine, because the Thai cuisine actually is not all about pad Thai or anything like that.
Yeah.
And also the way that we serve. I start having this counter service restaurant, kind of fast casual. But back then in 2016, we didn't see a lot of those. Right.
Yeah.
So the place that you need to go and grab the drink on your own, you order at the counter. So we got some negative feedback on that. I never seen the restaurant that I need to serve myself. Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But you see, now it does make sense.
Yeah.
To do fast service restaurant because you kind of can time that better than you have to go through the whole process. But I mean, it's just experience that people need to have different experience on different cuisine.
Yeah.
Just diversity and also what kind of service that people provide. So
yeah, absolutely. And how many staff would you say that on a typical day you usually have at that restaurant?
The amount of people, the number of people is pretty large, but you see they work a lot of part-time.
Yeah,
so somebody work 1 or 2 days and when I opened the Blue Oyster, right, we share a lot with other restaurants. So it's kind of learning about the culture and other people, other restaurants. Then, I've been here for 9 years. Then I know other restaurants owner and becomes a friend. So, the number of people that work in the restaurant, that's a lot. But, mostly they work kind of part-time.
Sure. Okay. And so I have to ask, going back, I know that you like to grow mushrooms. And and do you use those mushrooms in your actual restaurant then for your Poposky farm? I'm familiar with that. I've actually been out there. It was probably 4 years ago, and I actually got a tour. You gave me a tour. You probably don't even remember, but we were trying to film for another thing a long time ago. And so do you use some of that food in your actual cuisine at these restaurants?
I do. I start farming in Poposky about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I start having mushroom in Tara.
Okay.
And then I realized that a lot of people, they don't like mushroom. I think they never try it.
Yeah,
so,
it's kind of it's an eccentric food for sure.
But what I like about the mushroom is kind of some mystery into that. A lot of people think can we eat this mushroom? It looks beautiful. Is it poison? Something like that. So I think there's something about the mushroom that people kind of scare or want to try. So the local mushroom that they forage in the woods that people know
morels.
That people know and they like it. But when we grow something else, they just hesitate that is it gonna be good?
Yep.
Then I'm thinking if I have the restaurant that dedicate to do this kind of menu, and of course we educate people more about this mushroom. Because when I was in Thailand too, I'm a big fan of mushroom.
Sure.
There's also a lot of belief and research about the good thing about mushroom that can help your health and things like that. And also, like, I have heard that, if you eat like 3 kinds of mushroom, you're going to stay healthy.
Oh,
right.
Interesting. So I did research on like the different mushrooms you grow. Some of them were like lion's mane.
Correct.
And then I saw, is it shiitake mushroom? Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, you said right, but I didn't grow that one yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And so are these mushrooms that you first grew in Thailand, is that what you have in Bemidji now that you're growing?
Yeah, some like, the blue oyster.
The blue oyster.
Like the oyster family that we have a lot in Thailand. And, when I was there in Thailand, I never thought that I'm going to go grow mushroom too, because it's a lot of, science behind that. And I don't know, it looks like it's going to be hard to do.
Yeah.
And when people thinking about what is mushroom, is fungi.
Fungi.
Yeah. So it looks like creepy, or why would we eat fungi, right?
Yeah.
But then, I think, we saw a lot of people that more health concerned, and they try to get like meat substitution. Don't get me wrong, I still eat a lot of steak, but sometimes you feel like I want something light.
Yeah.
And it's many years that we've been using the product that, can give you kind of like protein substitution, like tofu and, soy based on that one. And the things like it's good, but then it doesn't have that flavors.
Yeah.
But mushroom does, has that umami flavors. It's kind of like can be good meat substitution.
Yeah. Yep. So I have to ask you, what is, although of all the mushrooms that you grow, what is your favorite mushroom to eat, I guess? Yeah,
for what I grow, I like chestnut.
Chestnut.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like crunchy and looks very beautiful. But the problem is like, each mushroom has different behavior, right? So we don't know like how long we're gonna grow that one. And it's just doing a small one. I have one like fruiting room. Yeah. So we control the temperature and humidity. Uh-huh. And I'm not able to do like different kind of mushroom in one room much yet. So one
mushroom.
We oculate some other mushroom and sit it there, hoping one day it will grow. And some takes a lot longer time, like chestnut or lion's mane. Sometimes it takes like 2-3 months.
Yeah.
But I need the consistency for the restaurant that we can supply these endless, mushroom to the restaurant. That's why blue oyster is very strong strain, and it tastes really good, and the shelf life is better.
Oh, okay. And so what kind of environment do these mushrooms need to grow in? Like, does it need to be humid? Is it dry? Is it like certain temperature, lighting? Like, how do you control all those environments?
Yeah, it needs humidity.
Humidity.
That's what, now we spend some time winter in Nevada.
Okay.
So I try to grow all these too, but like how much energy we need to use to grow the mushroom, how much water costs in Nevada.
Yeah.
But here we have 10,000 lakes, right?
Lots of water.
Yeah, I met the guy that I went meditation and met like Minnesota guy.
Yeah.
And when we heard another guy in California, they talk about how they drill their well, like 40 feet.
Oh, wow.
And then we just laughing. Okay, in my yard, you just dig it for 3-4 feet and you got
then you
water.
Have fresh water.
Yes.
Yeah, wow. So do you live in Bemidji?
I do. Now I live between Bemidji, and we have another blue oyster in Brainerd. And
I did see that.
We opened Drunken Noodle in Crosby 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's, again, people are asking me like, you want to open the restaurant in Crosby? I said, I think Bemidji is a good size, and Crosby is very small.
Very small.
But then again, activities that they have there, like a mountain biking and that kind of things. I think it's interesting. And then the distance to go to the city is shorter because I'm flying, I'm traveling a lot, so it's good for me for traveling, either like Fargo and Brainerd. But I don't live in Fargo that much anymore. So between Bemidji and Brainerd, and it's like 1 hour 40 minutes. That's a good distance.
Yeah, absolutely.
At my age, anything over 2 hours, I'm start getting like tired and sleepy.
Sure. So do you get back to Thailand very often then? Or
now I'm going back almost like every year because my mom's living there and she's getting older and older, and we need to take care of her. Yeah.
So that's one question I was going to ask is, who taught you how to cook? Or is that something that are you on the cooking side, or is it more on the business side of running the restaurant? Or where did that passion come from? I'm just curious.
it's not my mom.
Oh, really?
It's not my grandmother. They're not a good cook.
No, my mom's not either.
No. So first time I think I cooked for my wife, when we were dating in California.
Oh, okay.
So I invite her and I'm going to cook, how to impress the girl, right?
Yeah,
we need to do cooking. And there's some like a pre-packaged, soup that I just, throw in the pot and would do it. I screw it a big time. So that's how I start like, okay, I need to learn how to cook a little bit. Yeah, I think that's how I start cooking.
Okay. I'm still learning how to cook too. I'm not the best cook. I'm really good at ordering takeout, like Tara. I'm really good at ordering that food.
Actually it's not hard. It's just, we don't know. When we talk about other cuisine and what's different because they put something that we don't know.
Yeah.
So there's still some secret on that or not so secret,
Sure.
but some ingredients that is not like normal. Because you see like if you're going to use like the saltiness from salt, right?
Yeah.
And in Thailand, we use like soy sauce or fish sauce. In tropical country, we're going to use like a lot of lime juice or some vegetable that give that tangy taste. So it depends on what you find in the area and you can adapt that back to original and make it authentic.
Absolutely. I was going to ask you that is like, do you have any trouble trying to get ingredients up north that you would maybe have the local cuisine in Thailand and be able to have that available in the Bemidji area? Like, how do you get your ingredients, or is most of it pretty much available?
Yeah, that's what one of the reasons that I start growing at the farms too, because some vegetable that we can grow in summer, and so it's going to be bigger in summer that we can do something more authentic and have the like Thai chili or lemongrass, kaffir lime leaves that we grow in the farm.
Wow.
But the rest of it, we get suppliers from Minnesota and from Minneapolis that they deliver it here, but only once a week. So we sometimes, collect short of that supplies. And if you remember during the COVID time, we have that supply shortage a big time.
Yeah. So what did you do then?
See, that's what I'm thinking. We need to have something that, we can get it here.
Yeah.
Like we have lake, we have fish,
Yep.
but the vegetable, I think mushroom, like I say, it could be one good example that we can make it sustainable. Because mushroom doesn't need a lot of water or light.
Yeah.
First, I think when we grow like plants, right, it needs a lot of light, like full sun. But mushroom just need a little bit. So with the LED light, that's really good, and it doesn't cost much, and you can grow it constant. Get the result every time.
Okay. So just throwing a number out there, how many mushrooms would you say that you grow in an entire summer, like out of your farm?
I think my fruiting room we can produce like 400 pounds a week.
Wow.
But that's when we start supplies the Tara Thai restaurant.
Yeah.
I don't get enough demand for that one.
Sure.
And I'm not available all the time that I can go like sell this mushroom to other restaurants. I think, I do some research, we probably need 10 accounts to be, make profitable farms.
Absolutely, yeah.
But, then in my point of view, that's farming is not about profit.
Yes.
Because sometimes you just need to get supplies to the restaurant that, we can get it on our own. And the distance between, Paposki and here, nothing could be better than, you pick it fresh every day, right? And use it on that day. So I think that's how the gourmet mushroom, you don't have a lot of competitor because the distance, it doesn't have a good shelf life. It can be on the shelf for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it would be best if you pick it on that day and you use it the next day. So
you're really doing like farm to table, something that's fresh that you're literally growing and then it's being put right into the restaurant.
Right. And also, there are other farmers, right? When I drive to Brainerd, I saw other mushroom farms in Pine River. So we start contacting, having that community that if I don't have enough, I can order from them.
Okay.
Yeah. And if, I can build this block that ready to fruit mushroom, I start, give it away to Carl one time and he can fruit it on the countertop in his kitchen.
Yeah.
And then, everybody excited when you got mushroom. So I think, in the future, I might produce this mushroom block ready to fruit and can get this to community that people can use this one and grow it in their house.
Wow.
And they can sell that back to me and they make it profit and they don't need to have people there all the time just harvest the mushroom. So that's kind of my plan.
Yeah. So tell me more about, so did you go to school with Carl at at NDSU, and
No,
that's
no.
how you guys.
He's a banker, and I run the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'm just curious about that connection, and so that
And he likes Thai food a lot.
He likes Thai food a lot, and that connection really helped bring your restaurant to be able to be in Bemidji.
Yeah.
Because you saw that there was a need for that.
And we got more and more people that they know about Thailand. They love Thai food because we have all kind of people in Bemidji now. So I think in a good way that we have diversity in the community.
Absolutely. And then on top of that, are you also the owner of the Asian Kin Market as well?
I started that one and now transfer to my former employees.
Okay.
So when people start the business, right, I kind of help them a little bit to start, and we already plan like, okay, in one day you're gonna own that one because I don't have the system that I can do this all by myself. So it's
I don't know how you do everything by yourself. It sounds like you have an incredible work ethic.
I can't do that technically. So I need a lot of help, and they have a lot of good people that working for me. But I want them to look in the future, like what they could do, but not everybody can be business owner. Is a lot of stress and
absolutely.
A lot of risk involved.
Yeah. So how many restaurants total have your hand in, I guess? Like not just Bemidji, but Brainerd, you said North Dakota, in that area. Like how many different ventures do you have going on? You think?
At least it's going to be like 15.
Wow. That's why you got Entrepreneur of the Year. I think that might have been why you got that.
Yeah, if you look at the number of business that I opened, we don't talk about the number here, right? Not the money.
Yeah.
Actually, I opened the first Tara in St. Simon's Island in Georgia.
In Georgia?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's exact the same population here, about like 14,000.
Yeah.
And then when we start, it's pretty rough. And it's like, no, I'm not going to do Bemidji.
Really?
And later, because we took over one Thai restaurant. So is this small community. People think, it's the same owner, just changing the name.
Yeah.
So it took us a while, like a couple months to make that one better. And they are a good restaurant now. And again, I transferred that one to my partner. Yeah. And then I opened Tara in Bemidji, and it's been very good.
Yeah. And then let's talk about Blue Oyster. And so I'm assuming that I know how you got the name, but can you tell me the story about like how you opened that restaurant that used to be in the Elks building,
right?
And so now it's been converted. And so can you just tell me the background story of how you decided to do that business?
First, again, it's hard to find, the Thai people to work in Thai restaurant already, right?
Yeah.
The population that we have probably less than 0.1 Asian population here.
Yeah.
And it's happened everywhere that, it's hard to find the people to work in the restaurant. So, and we have like the total Thai restaurant like Tara already. Yeah. So the Blue Oyster is something that, that happened when I bought the property in Brainerd, and it comes with the bar. I just need a place to live, when I open Drunken Noodle.
Yeah.
And it comes with the bar.
Oh,
then
really?
I need to run the bar. Then I got this idea. If I just took over the bar and it turned to be something, it's not Thai food, it's not American, but we have some mushroom that people can use, and they can use it from my farm.
Yeah.
And we offer them like local chef that, they've been doing good over there already. But we add these, on the Thai food. Like I say, I went to Thailand with Carl, like I think it's already 2 years, but show him like, hey, Thai food actually is not what people think that all we have or what we offer.
There's a lot more.
It's hard to offer that one in the restaurant, like typical Thai restaurant like Tara, because sometimes, some food, it takes more time, it's more complicated than
the process.
Right. And if I put the menu like Blue Oyster in Tara Thai, I couldn't sell it.
Yeah.
So then the Blue Oyster have something is different from Tara.
Yeah. I also, Sydney and I went there to be able to check out the restaurant, and I really like the atmosphere that you have there. The music, it kind of felt groovy. It had like some, I just liked the atmosphere a lot. And then we had some really good drinks, and the food was amazing. We got to go and meet the chef in the back and do a fun video for social media. And so I think it's a really cool asset to town that you've brought to Bemidji that maybe we didn't have before. So I think it's really cool, and I think tourists should definitely check out your restaurant.
Yeah, Blue Oyster is one of the things, like when I do this Thai restaurant for many years, is to the point that I'm start having like very comfortable. And then, Blue Oyster is the new challenge for me because, this, like the ambience, the food, you got many opinions on that one. So we still work on that. Like, hey, what you really want or what you expect from this one? Yeah. Because many people still think that Blue Oyster is some kind of seafood.
Yeah, absolutely.
And are they Thai food or are they American? So is it lunch place or dinner? So
Yep.
when something like this, is very challenging, but I'm working on that I feel like, wow, this is good. I have a chance that I can.
It's a new challenge.
Yeah, it's new challenge.
And I saw that there was live music there.
Right.
So you have live music, so that's kind of a cool component too. So being able to be downtown, have different kinds of food, and then have live music there, it's the whole experience.
And I'm part of the building too that we do like the Loft event center, right? So my restaurant be one of the caterers. So if you want to have events over there, you can choose your caterer that license, or you can use Blue Oyster as the caterer. So we can talk about that, and I think that's pretty good about that.
Yeah. So we've actually worked with Brittany over at Four Lofts. And so one of our jobs at Visit Bemidji is to sell the meeting spaces that are in town. And so you've now provided a new thing for people within town to be able to have a space to be able to have an event. And so that's something that's really cool as well. So well, that's fantastic. So I guess, so we've talked about Blue Oyster, we've talked about Tara. What would you say is your favorite dish from Blue Oyster?
I like some fusion dish like khao soi pasta.
Okay.
So khao soi is my hometown food.
Okay.
And then usually it's kind of like soupy, creamy coconut milk type with the curry paste. And it becomes like, very popular in the past like couple years all over the world.
Really?
And then we want something that make it different from others. So we make it like pasta version.
Okay.
Use that sauce, but reduce it. So it got that, the flavors all in there, and use like local ingredients. We can use like some walleye, some lobster, or something over here. I hope we can expand more on the, seafood side as well.
Yeah, very cool. So Keng, tell me more about the community aspect of Bemidji and like the small town feel. Like, is that one of the reasons why you feel like you've decided to still live here, or what made you stay? Like, not just visit here, but also like stay long term.
You see, when you walk on the street, you see people. Sometimes we don't know each other, or we can recognize them. You always get like, people greet you like, hello, hi, how are you? And, my one of my brother-in-law, actually, when he was in the Midwest area, he walked on the street and, do the meditate. And people just stopped and helping him because they thought something wrong with him.
Oh, really?
When my car got stuck in snow, I'm not very good with that, right? At the beginning. And it's like every time people try to help me out. Yeah. And we can saw that big help during the COVID time, that the whole community helping each other. And I feel like, this community is very strong. Yeah. And whatever problem that we got, economic, it doesn't affect this much.
Yeah. Well, I like to hear that, because we like to have people visit here, but we also like to have people live here. That's the Chamber's mission, is being able to have people stay here. Our job is to bring people to Bemidji, but we like it even more when they want to stay here. And so definitely having a welcoming community is definitely something important. And it's just fun to be able to be a part of it. So I guess what would you say, what's next for you? I guess, is the new challenge the Blue Oyster, or do you think that you'll just be continuing to manage all these different restaurants? Do you see yourself retiring in the near future? Where do you see yourself in 5-10 years?
I don't see the definition of retiring in my terms, because, I like to do things, but my goal probably getting like something small on every day. Like,
Sure.
Now, like I have a lot of good help with the restaurant, and later they become my partner anyway. Then I can get out from the restaurant business a little bit, but, I still taking care of some. But then since I grow mushroom, I start, learning more about the wildflowers, the wildflowers. Yeah, the plants over here, the flowers. So I kind of like enjoy that one more.
Yeah.
I think I spend more time now like doing gardening.
Yeah, yes. I love gardening. And the thing that I've gotten big into is birding. So now I like learning all the different kinds of birds. I do photography with birds, and I try to show through Visit Bemidji, the social media, just like what is the natural environment that we have all around us. Right. And so it sounds like you really like learning. It sounds like you like the process of learning. Maybe not always the end result. That's good, but you like the process. Yes. Like being able to, so gardening. So what is your favorite flower to grow?
Now, I'm obsessed with hydrangea.
Oh, really?
Because so many of them. And, first I think, why the color is different? And I learned, just fertilizer or something. And then, I start, okay, it's kind of like a bush. And then if I grow it as a tree, how tall I can do it, to make it like a tree and blooming on the top, something like that. So
I just started planting my garden beds, and I have flowers. And I was told from a friend that you're supposed to use mushroom in the soil because that helps the flowers grow. Have you done that before?
We use the spent block that we grow the mushroom. So that's another benefit of that is like once you harvest the mushroom to the end, you end up having this block that have all these mushroom culture in there, and you use in the gardening. And of course, you're gonna see that mushroom growing in your garden too.
Yeah.
But we use it, have some nutrition on that one, and also it can be a mulch that helping control the weed. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Have you ever ate a poisonous mushroom?
No. Like I say, I'm very cautious too. Like when I went into the wood and something like oyster, I'm pretty familiar with it, right?
Yeah.
So every time if I saw that, grow it on the oak, like, the dead oak, and I look at the gill, I know like it's oyster. But I don't use that, in my restaurant. But sometimes like actually at the farm, the first thing I saw in that farms is like there's a dead oak, then they cut the stump, and there's a heavy rain. And next day I saw that pearl oyster growing like a bunch on the center of that big stump.
Wow.
So I think, this is something. Maybe, it's something telling me that we need to grow mushroom here.
Yeah.
Then we named the farm kind of like Popolsky Pearl.
Yeah, I saw that. The Popolsky Pearl, farm. Yeah. That's so cool. Very cool. So, very, very, very interesting. So, I guess, so your day-to-day is you're constantly on the go. Like bring us through like what a day in the life of Keng looks like. Like, is it going to multiple restaurants in a day, or?
Yeah, it depends on where they need me and what, right? Like, yesterday I was in Fargo, and I drove back to Brainerd, and then today I need to come here in Bemidji and do other stuff, and mainly like come to see you too.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow I need to take my friend's son to see Fargo.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go back to Brainerd, and then next week I'm gonna take my mother-in-law to Iceland.
Iceland.
Yeah.
Wow.
I never been there too, so.
Yeah, that sounds like an amazing trip. When do you go there?
19. Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay. And when do you go back to Thailand next?
I think in November. I like to get that month because Thailand is very hot and humid.
Yes.
So I found like November, December is kind of good
cold
month. Yeah, to go there.
Yep.
Yeah, when we say cold, you mean like 90.
Yeah. What do you like to do for fun in Thailand other than see family? Like
seeing friends and lots of tech activities. Like we have the mountainside in the north and we have beautiful ocean on the south side.
Yeah. Do you ever fish?
No, I don't do that.
Oh, okay. That's like a bucket list trip of mine is to go fishing. Yeah. I would love to go fishing in Thailand.
I think I tried once, but many things that I'm not good at it. And anyway, like golf.
Golf, okay.
Fishing.
Yep.
Playing instrument. I can't do any of those.
Yeah. Well, you have other talents though. So, what would you rate your cooking skills from 1 to 10? What would you say your cooking skills are at now?
If I'm not bragging about it, I'm probably saying like 7 to 8.
7 to 8.
But like being like that when I do the restaurant for almost 7-8 years, and later I found a lot of people that scale is not enough for them. They're on 10 or 11.
Oh,
so I have
goodness.
the very talented chef, both local chef and also like somebody that I recruit from Thailand. They're really good and they're a lot better than me.
Wow.
And now, my family doesn't want to eat my food anymore.
Yeah.
Because we have a very good chef.
Wow. Yeah. So you're recruiting, it's like the chef at Tara. Where are you recruiting them from? Like where are they coming from?
Some from Thailand and some already here,
Yeah.
You would be surprised like how many people from California they want to come here.
Yeah.
When they start talking to me, like last month I got kind of like famous YouTuber from LA come to make a story about the Popolsky Pearl to say like how we grow mushroom here and how we have the restaurant here.
Yeah.
And they said like, wow, you must be a millionaire to own this piece of land because like we have like 20 some acres.
Yeah, I saw
Popolsky,
27
right?
acres.
Right.
Yeah.
And then in California, they don't have even, have these picture in their mind, like you can own like 20 acres in this country.
Their mind is blown by that.
Yeah, and I heard that they're thinking like, if you want to own a house, just like a average house, you need to earn more than $200,000 a year now.
Wow.
So that's huge.
Wow. Yeah, that is. Wow.
And when I spend time at the place like traveling, people are like, wow, you have a lot of money. No, because we have a better cost of living here, then you can save up more and you can go travel.
That's a really big asset to being able to live here is the cost of living is not as bad as being in a larger town.
Yeah, if you need to spend like, $6,000 a month for your house, right? For the mortgage, and you can't go anywhere.
No, I totally hear you. I feel like it's a paradise here, being able to have the lakes and the different seasons that we have between winter, summer, fall. You know, it's just, there's always something to do in the area. And it kind of feels like we're up in the Northwoods up here. And I kind of like that feel for sure.
Me too.
So I guess for anyone that's listening, I guess, what would you like to tell any tourist that's coming to Bemidji about your restaurants? Like, what would you like to tell them?
Try something that you haven't tried yet, not just my restaurant, but, overall in this town, we have a lot of restaurants that they're doing so good, and we have more and more people doing that. So if you spend, not only one day in Bemidji, right? Then you can tour to this restaurant, Bemidji Brewing, other restaurant like local, and we have good amount of ethnic restaurant now that, that can, support them for their needs. Like, you don't want to have burgers every day. You can have pad thai every day too, right?
Yeah, I like pad thai. I know that I've got that quite a few times at Tara, and it's very good. Yeah, and it hits the spot. So is there anything else that you'd like to add at all?
No, I think that would be all.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much, Keng, for stopping in today. I think it's wonderful what you're doing for the community. I'm super happy that you won that award from the Chamber. I think it's well-deserved. And I think that anyone that's coming visiting Bemidji should definitely check out your restaurants. And I just really appreciate you being on today.
Hey, thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Keng.